Hi, welcome to a special one shot of Hutt Cartel run for 2025's May the 4th be with you mini convention. We're playing it here on the open hearth. If you're watching, like and subscribe, leave a comment, come check us out, play with us, etc. We use loads of safety tools. Uh, but I'm going to go straight in to our players and they're going to introduce their character very quickly. And they're going to we'll go do that, and then we're going to go back around and do ties. And hopefully, we'll get all this done in 10 minutes before we take a short break. So, I'm going to do it in character keeper order. Eric, please give me, 1 to 2 sentences about your crime lord.
So yeah, Platinum is an RA7 protocol droid that the Hutt Cartel in their wisdom is assigned as the current crime lord in this area, and he's an incredibly sort of secretly glitchy, unstable character who's identifies as masculine and has is increasingly only loyal or only sort of trusting of other droids, and would like it if all the biologicals got gradually killed off to leave him with a sort of clean force. Um, that's
Cool.
him. Oh, and he's a very chromed up guy. He's very vain.
Shiny and chrome. Nice.
Yeah.
Uh, Rich?
Hello, I'm Rich. I am playing Char, the Trandoshan. Yes, that is Char from Star Wars Hunters, because why not? The Trandoshans, those are the Blizzard men. He is a very big, burly Trandoshan, highly savage, excellent at hunting people down, and for some reason seems to be carrying an ion gun. Who knows why?
Nice. Uh, Stephen?
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Sleazy, whose pronouns are also he, him. Sleazy is the rat playbook. I am just trying to make my way in this, make a little bit of money, a little few credits, that kind of stuff. And I um, worked my way up to the top. The one thing is I do not do drugs. They make me sick. But I'll gamble, go to brothels, all sorts of things like that, just to have a good time.
Yeah, an encounter with a Jedi left you changed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Now, one question before we carry on for you is, do you think it's Black Sun or the Pikes that you're working for?
I think it's the Pikes.
The Pikes, nice. Okay, then finally, Jason.
Hello, I'm Jason. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Dizzy,
Mhm.
a space oboe player, leads his band, the Deftones. He's looking for vengeance against somebody.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll come to that in ties. Who do you think you lost?
Um, let's say my lover.
Nice. Feel free to chuck them into the NPCs at some point, but we will just refer to them as Dizzy's lover for any purposes until that's defined.
Okay.
Uh, cool. So we'll go back around again. Eric, do you want to choose one of your ties and feel free to throw one out and ask if anyone wants to be it, or if you've got one in mind, say who you think it might work for.
Yeah, I think it would be good if he's taking Sleazy under his wing. Um, and mostly because he thinks he's the easiest to sort of control over time.
That's a
Uh,
perfect one as well, yeah.
so he
Particularly for
thinks,
their role, right? The rat is a good one for you
yeah,
to like, oh, out of all the biologicals, I can trust you, Sleazy.
exactly. He thinks
Yes,
he's too weak to betray him.
yes, yeah. Who needs a restraining bolt for Sleazy? Perfect. Um, okay. Char?
I think Sleazy carked up something crucial. I had to clean up the mess before things got messy with the Coruscant Security and or a rival drug cartel. Maybe Coruscant? What do you think, Sleazy?
Sounds good.
Okay, well, you owe me big time.
Okay.
That's
Uh,
nothing new.
Sleazy?
Um, I think Dizzy knows that I'm compromised, and They haven't told anyone, but they started to blackmail me. And they need favors from time to time.
That's perfect. And finally, Dizzy.
I think then that Sleazy hires me and my band for gigs. And
Okay.
what ties them to your target? Is a sub question. I would guess you work for my target.
I'm sorry, who is your target?
It's probably going to be platinum. That's another one of my ties.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Well, everyone's chosen Sleazy for their NPC, apart from Sleazy, of course. Yeah. Back around again to Platinum.
So I think it's interesting because both my remaining ones are kind of someone who I yeah, okay. So I think Char has bad blood with me. And vice versa. And I think although you can veto this obviously, Rich, that he had a bad experience with like an IGN droid or something, and so which betrayed him, because of programming and stuff. So he doesn't trust him, and it's mutual.
Yeah, that sounds great. One person of your ilk betrayed me, and therefore you all are terrible. That sounds great.
Exactly.
Uh,
Cool. I will say, I meant to say this at the start, you can feel free to, I would like at least two to be players, but you can use a third one to be an NPC, right? Just,
Oh, right, right.
because people interact with the NPCs as well, but
Yeah.
it doesn't particularly matter. So, Charm.
mhm. I think, well, the musician, I think you're headed towards platinum, so I don't know if I want to insert Char as the trigger man there or not. Um, but it would be interesting if maybe I owe Dizzy for getting me out of a tight spot. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
So I owe Dizzy for getting me out of a tight spot. You won't die for them. But you both need to settle up soon.
nice. Sleazy?
Um, Platinum trusts me with their life, and will I ever do the same? Nope.
Yeah, fair. Dizzy.
Not so long ago, Platinum murdered someone you cared about. Not so long ago, you've sworn revenge.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't edit that quite right. I can never be bothered to changing the orientation of the boxes, so I had to rewrite it to make that box fit the initial prompt. So there's double not so long ago's. Not so long ago in a not so long ago time, far, far away. Yeah. Um, cool. Back around to platinum, and we should just finish this.
Sure.
So
So Selena, what's her, or how high up is she in Cartel?
she's above you, and
Okay.
that's all you need to know.
Okay. So then, yeah, I think I'm gonna pick her as a person that I think sorry, how is it phrased here?
He's up
Is
to something.
oh
Maybe,
oh
yeah,
that
maybe.
she's up to something. So yeah, I think she is.
That's a great choice for a paranoid droid. Yeah, paranoid android. That's the best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Char.
I think I'll make the relationship between Platinum and Char reciprocal. Maybe Platinum has a score to settle with you, but business comes first for now. Maybe the score is that Char was closely aligned to the previous capo,
Mm,
and the cartel said, "Nah, don't take him out because he's pretty good cleaner."
yeah.
And so that's the score that you have is like I'm the remnants. I'm the one who says, "Well, we'll have to define the name of the previous underworld lord, but he did it this way."
Mm-hmm.
That's what Char says. Yeah, so in the
Horrible.
old days.
Horrible to hear.
Nice. And Sleazy.
I think I work with Char regularly on cartel business. I don't trust them, but I'm pretty confident that they don't know any of my secrets yet.
Nice. Nice. Finally, Dizzy.
Char used to party with you. Do they still have your back? Says I say yes, they owe me, based on what Rich put down for me on his.
Nice. Nice. Well then, we have our ties, and we have hit perfect time. So we will take a short break. You say about 15 minutes, right, Rich?
Yeah, hope so. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah, no, I figure. But we'll meet back on the hour, and Rich will meet back when he can. Yeah.
Cool.
Great. So, one thing that was established in our little break was that Dizzy's lover, the person who was killed by Platinum, is Demena, who was one of Platinum's sort of show trophy girls hanging off his arm to, mimic the actions of the other cartel bosses in having these like bits of these trophy biologicals hanging off them. But Platinum's uh, increasing paranoia led them to believe that Demena was in some way betraying them, and so Platinum killed Demena. And Platinum has no idea that Dizzy was Demena's lover. Just knows that Dizzy as this musician that the biologicals seem to like, which Platinum doesn't really get. But so Dizzy's got thinks about Platinum a lot. Platinum doesn't think about Dizzy at all. And we are about to go into our start of session moves, but as I was saying, we are first going to begin with a non-starter session move. We're going to start with Sleazy, speaking to Pizan of the Pyke Syndicate. I think in 8 Lives, the club, sort of, it's kind of like a neutral territory for the cartels and everything. I think that Pizan owns it, and he's a representative of the Pyke Syndicate. He's like, rumored but not established kind of thing. People are not automatically in this. It's probably one of the reasons why Platinum is so paranoid is the fact that the Pyke Syndicate's not made any overt moves against the cartel so far. Black Sun has been making overt moves. The Pyke Syndicate just appears to be doing business. And Selena says, "Don't worry about it. The Pyke Syndicate can do business, and they can be trusted to do business. They're not going to, ruin, spoil the credits flow." Which is probably one reason why Platinum's so paranoid about her as well. But yeah, so Sleazy, Pizan, he's got the vocal box thing that I think we see the Pyke Syndicates using in The Mandalorian. I don't fully remember how they were portrayed in the TV show beyond that they were there and it was cool. And you're in a VIP room, and Pizan, sits down with you with a big bottle of Alderaanian brandy on the table, and he, slides over a sack of chits and he says, "This should clear your debts with the bookies. We're losing big on the tables, Sleazy."
Thank you. Yeah. I'll do that right now. And I pick it up and I get up and get ready to leave.
And he just extends a hand and catches it before you can grab the. And he says, "One thing, our little arrangement. I think it would benefit if we expanded it. If you could find other people who could use our help within the cartel."
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure any of them can be trusted, but I'll do my best. I'll see if I can't find somebody who has to be trusted because they've got something that I can squeeze.
Oh, and he pulls out another couple of credits from his thing and just stacks it on top. And he says, "Everybody has something that they can be squeezed with, Sleazy. Everyone needs creds. And if they say no, perhaps if Platinum comes to believe that Dave said yes, then the problem goes away."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just sits back, and one of his goons opens the door and gives you the clear, so he's basically tasking you with recruit more people. And if but if you can't recruit more people, just make sure that Platinum thinks that there are more people who are being subverted.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go to leave, but I'm not going to pay all the debts. in the ball in the in the gambling den. I'm just gonna pay enough that I can get out the door and then keep the rest of the credits.
Okay, if you want to mark somewhere underneath your sheet or something that you've got some creds, then I will
Yeah,
give you a +1 on strain your finances with that.
yeah, perfect.
Uh, okay.
I'm also gonna mark down wanted or in debt or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, is that not? Yeah, I think that's like the main. You owe money to everybody, right?
Yeah,
All over the 1313. On a miss roll with someone, I might have them invoke that you owe them still.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you're just so like personable that everyone knows that you're, eventually going to pay them back. Surely one day, right? Um, but cool. And then our next, so we have startup session means you have the crime boss and we have the musician. I would like to do the crime boss's one first because that will tell me, and I have an idea of what the trouble is, but it will tell me where the cartel is in position to that trouble. So at the
Okay.
start of the session, you roll with control. On a hit, you get an opportunity to engage one of your troubles on your terms. On a 7 to 9, the opportunity is short-lived and risky. Um, I'm gonna say that I know it says your choice, but I would like it to be the gang war one, just because to focus.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, okay, I got a 5.
Mm, okay. Well, good for me. I'll just to borrow a term from Laurel, that's gonna sit on my hard move shelf,
Mm-hmm.
and that will come into play shortly. Um, but then let us move over to Dizzy, the band, at the start of the session. Well, when time passes, roll with hustle. On a hit, your band is high to perform for criminals close to your target.
Okay. Roll 2d6. Did I do it? It doesn't look like it. I got a 9, and then my hustle, I think, is a +1, so that's a 10.
That is a 10. That is perfect. So you have been hired by Gator, who's basically the major distributor of product between 1313 and the upper levels. So you've been hired for a fairly swanky gig. Like there are some Imperials up there, some big corp types, it's not the usual group of like cartels and lower people. And Gator, that he's super close to the top of the cartel. He's really close. 10 plus.
Heavy drinker, easy gossip, or willing to betray others?
Yeah. Which one would you like it to be?
I like the willing to betray others.
So, oh, it's my choice, in fact, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is your choice, yes.
Yes. So if someone present has access to information, access, or resources, your choice. So which one would you like it to be?
Access.
Perfect. That means I don't have to change the NPCs up because they've got access. So Gator, you play a real good, you wail that jizz hard, Dizzy.
Yeah, man.
I need to stop doing that. It breaks me out of the grim idea that I'm trying to go for. It could be a lot of work for you in the days to come. I know this thing we got here with the higher levels. I need. I think we could do with a house band in the cartel, right? And old Platinum, he's looking a bit rusty. You know what I mean? One day soon, might be a new player in town.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't maybe be interested in helping me out with a little problem, maybe.
I'm always looking to help. I'm a
Well,
helper.
I got some friends who been making some moves in town, uh, and come to the back room here. Bring one of your buddies with you.
Okay. Hey, Ganradosk, let's go.
And Conrad Doss is addicted. Yeah, but that's the perfect choice because he's going to have like a bunch of spice laid out on the table, and he says, we should party, get to know each other some better. It's this good product. It's all moving around from 1313, but it's good product that could get even better thanks to my friend here. And what are they called? What is Prince Sizor called? Rich, do you remember? Say,
Pauline?
Faline, yeah, a
Mm.
Faline. I need to write that down to the thing. A Faline comes in. He says, "This is Prince Zux. He's new around town, but I think you're about to hear much more about him." Prince Zux sits down and says, "I really enjoyed your music. I think, you know, I hear that Platinum used to like surrounding himself with all the things that real people do. Pretty girls, good music, fine foods. How about if you got close and you played a certain special tune?" And he pulls out an instrument and he says, "But you want to be careful with this one. Maybe, if you've just left it near Platinum, just walked away quickly."
Yeah, man, I can do that. Anything that gets me close to platinum, I'll into it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good. Yeah, yeah. Why'd you go with Platinum?
Oh, we got some history, he knew somebody that I knew, and bad things happen. And I wouldn't mind getting back to him, give him a little bit of what he gave me.
Gonre Doss. Uh, and they all nod. And as they say, "Yeah, we'll leave you guys to it." And Gonre Doss has taken a load of the spice off the table, right? He shoves them into his pockets. And as you guys are in the corridors between, he goes, "Oh man, I don't know about this. Like, it's not what Demena would have wanted. Like to go around killing people. It ain't what you do, does it? It ain't what we do. You gotta. It's dangerous. That's freaking Black Sun out there. You know what they do to people? They don't. It doesn't go well."
Hey, man, look, you knew her as well as I did. What he did to her, that's just not right. You can't let that lie. You
We
just gotta
got that.
settle down, man. Stay
I,
with me. I know what I'm doing.
well, would you like to make our first roll of the game?
Yeah. I'm also wondering whether this hits my key of vengeance. Mark XP when you take on a dangerous risk to get close to someone who has harmed those you care about.
Um,
Or is it too early for that?
what, I'll allow it because Conrad, even being seen with and discussing this with Prince Zux is a dangerous risk if it was to come out, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Is
and
there a
Conrad,
spot to Mart XP? How much XP do you get? I forget. Oh,
just
three.
the
You need
one.
three to go up.
Yeah, this XP is
I see it.
yeah.
I see it. Okay. And yeah, what move am I doing? Calm down. Is there a calm down move? I
There is
forget.
a pressure someone
Okay.
or propose a deal. Are the two ways to you can. So the way I would interpret these moves is that you can always just use your words, right? But rolling these guarantees that their response is as the dice confirms, right? Because otherwise,
Probably pressure someone is what I'm
that
doing
seems the
here.
right one. Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, you could say
Roll with
there'll be
hustle.
plenty of drugs in it for you if you
Yeah, yeah. Look, man. Yeah, but no, I'm just gonna go with having him, side with me because we're buddies. All right. Roll 2d6. Dizzy got 2 and a 5, and I got a +1, so it's an 8.
That is an 8. On an 8, you let something important slip as you bring your pressure to bear. So,
I
uh,
think I probably say, look, all we got to do is leave this horn by platinum and walk away.
so he knows that the horn is
He
the
knows the horn is something. Yeah.
yeah. How about? Well, I think that I'd already established that he was in that meeting with you.
Okay. Look, I'm
But
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna kill that guy. You know.
yeah, yeah. Could I suggest that who is it who owes you a debt? Your
That would be Char.
Char. Um, Like, so maybe Gonray's like, I don't know, man, like he's in that Trandoshan that works for Platinum. Like he'll eat your freaking head if he finds out anything about this.
He owes me a favor, big time.
Cool. Well, now Gonray Doss is going to go along with it, but Gonray Doss now knows who might be collude with you in this whole project, right? So
Hmm.
that information is now held outside of you. Let's hope nothing bad happens to Gonray Doss. That might mean that somebody else knows those things.
Right.
Okay, so uh, Platinum. You know what? I'm going to go with. I'm going to introduce Char the Assassin to a scene, right? Char, you get a call, a panic. You've had a panicked call from Toomlo, the head enforcer for the crime boss, on the comms, and he says, "I need you down at Kleck's place. Like someone's hit our goddamn producer, man. Like we've got a couple of the Hawks down there. They tell me that there's blaster fire all over the place. It's on fire. Like we need a heavy hitter down there, and I'm stuck on the other side of the hub."
Uh, when this when this frantic call comes in, Char is sitting on this comfy chair, and there's this it's like Jats music, but synth waves kind of music, and there is this starry night above him. He sits up on the chair, and the lights cycle, and it's inside some room, a small room. Yes, I'm on my way, Collects. No problem. I'll take care of it. Don't piss yourself.
And we'll cut to you stepping out of a speeder, right? As you see Raki, one of the Hawks, the cartel, um, exchanging.
So Rocky, is Rocky a male or female Trandoshan?
What would you like it to be?
Oh, I think female. It'd be fun. Music.
Yeah, okay. So she's exchanging fire, like, hiding behind a dumpster with somebody inside the burning wreckage of Kleck's lab. And Kleck's lab is exposed. So I'm thinking that Kleck's lab is like in like what is supposed to be like a derelict, like housing unit, you know, uh, like in a real slummy part of town. And these hawks were sort of like, picking up product and, supposedly helping to secure it when something heavy hits this place. Uh, and Raki's like, Cispit, there's too many of them.
Where are they?
They're in, they're inside. And you hear like coming from upstairs in the thing. They've got the cook.
So he's alive.
So far, they seem to want to take him. I've managed to keep them pinned in, but and then like a thermal detonator rolls across the ground, and
Shit.
yeah, Raki just dives behind the thing, and there's a boom, and he looks up at you. Screw this, Lola, and like you can see the Duck, their friend, is bringing around a couple of swoop bikes, and Raki and Lola are gonna book it out of here, basically.
Hey, keep them pinned down. I'll get him.
Make me a pressure someone move.
Yeah, I'm totally pressuring these guys. All right, pressure someone. Let me find that move. Oh, someone's right on it. Thank you, Balthazar. All right, I'm gonna roll with hustle. I think that's my best stat. No, it's flat. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hustle with 2d6. That's a 9.
9. So you let something important slip as you bring your pressure to bear. What do we think might be an important something?
Oh, I'll say, hey, listen, we saved this cook. It's important to Platinum. He's gonna be so happy with you. It's worth the cost. Which means I'm gonna have to share credit. That's what
Nice,
I'm letting slip.
nice. I like it. just see that one of your moves is when you read a charged situation, roll with savagery.
Uh-huh. I'd like
Like
to
a
do
tiny
that
thing.
thing. Yep, that's 100% what I was about to do. Here we go. Oh, weird. Did it like change for someone else's die roll? That's weird. Okay. Yep, there we go. Wow, that is terrible. I rolled a 5.
Okay. On a miss, you walk into an ambush. So
Amazing.
Raki and Lola open fire, right? They give you cover. They allow you to get, like jump in through a window. You get in there, you can hear that there are people engaged. Um, and then you come to like where the like where Clect, you can hear his like Jawa squeals talking off, and you step into that room, and you feel the cold point of a blaster against your back as behind you, standing like pressed up against the wall. Um, you thought you checked it. You're sure you checked that corner, but they weren't there when you looked. But they're there now. You see one of the Dathomiri twins, who are notorious, like have a fierce reputation. I think you see the female Dathomiri twin,
Cool.
uh, and she's got a brutal-looking heavy blaster pistol, like jammed up against you, and a wicked-looking vibro blade in the other hand. And she says, "It's Char, right? I wondered when we'd run into you."
Yes. So, you're working for the Black Sun. I thought the Tenwa clan would be coming back for this one.
Oh, the Tenwa clan have provided whatever assistance credits can bring, and you hear another boom. She goes, "My brother does love his explosions." As another thermal detonator goes off.
All right. We'll let you have him. We're gonna take off here. Not worth the trouble. See? I'm trying to like, hey, don't blow my head off. I will leave here.
I knew you could be reasonable, Cha. Looking forward to doing business with you again. And you hear from her blaster over to stun, and then and everything goes black.
Damn
And
it.
can you please take a stress for that?
Yeah, that seems stressful. I will take a stress for that.
Uh, you know, it all goes black. The titles come in, and there's just the camera pans down on this like absolutely burning thing as a speeder car picks up the Dathomiri twins and drives off. And you can see hiding behind the swoop bikes are Lola and Raki. And the next thing that Char feels is the foot of a Doug gently slapping their face. Uh, what happened? What happened?
So just before we move any further, and I forget, did I go into battle significantly outgunned or outmanned here, or do you think it doesn't count because I just rolled poorly to go in?
I think that you weren't significantly outgunned because you had all of your gear. I think you were ambushed, right?
I
Like
just
you
kind
were
of carked it up. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
but you swear you checked that corner. It's almost like these weren't the droids you were looking for. Uh,
Okay, so back to the Doug. It got the drop on me, but that's okay. I'm a better hunter than a straight up fighter. And then I'm ignoring him and I'm trying to pick up the trail because
yeah.
I
Well,
probably should have done that from the beginning.
we will cut away to Platinum as a very scared and terrified looking Raki and Lola stand in front of you and saying, we tried, they came in hard. I don't know who, I don't know. Like Charles said, it was Black Sun, but they took Clack. They burned the whole place down. Like they had thermal detonators. They
What did Jar do?
he said leave it with him, and the next thing we know, Collect was out of there. Like he was gone. Like, we just we were under fire. They were throwing thermal detonator as me and Lola. Like we
Yes, yes, yes. And how's Char doing?
I mean, he seemed fine. I don't know why they didn't kill him.
I don't know why either.
Uh,
I'd say bring him to me. Thank you.
oh, yes, boss. Yes, 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 sir. Uh, and they stammer and leave. Now, um, I'm going to cut away to Stephen here, but I think that what we're setting up for you there, Platinum, is your when you send your move of when you send your enforcers to solve a problem on your behalf, roll with face.
That's right. And I'm gonna send, even though it probably doesn't apply here, I'm gonna send my angels, a couple of my sort of chromed out droid,
Yeah.
um or like commando droids, I'm imagining, maybe. So
Hmm.
I'll sort of nod to them uh to follow, to actually sort of make sure this happens.
Nice. Well,
Um
what I think we will do is that will be a thing that will happen during the course of Rich's hunt. We will, uh, but I will now cut across to Sleazy. If there's a scene you would like to do, anything you want to do, I think the one thing that will be I'll leave Platinum with is a message from Celine
mhm.
saying, you know, what the hell happened to our cook.
Mm. So I'm gonna uh I've got one of our sort of customers is here helping me test out and trying to figure out like a restraining bolt like situation that'll work on biologicals. So I think he's gonna pull his blaster, but on stun because he's feeling charitable, and blast him a few times.
Mm, nice. Yeah, very Jabba's palace. Um, yeah. So Sleazy, what do we see Sleazy doing? Where's Sleazy at?
So Sleazy's actually looking for Dizzy.
Hmm.
And where do you think Dizzy is?
Um, I can roll up, me and the band roll up wherever you wanted us to meet you, because we know
Let
each
me
other.
pick up location then. Um,
We've been smoking that spice that Ganradas grabbed.
Yeah.
how about the okay, this is the Uskru underbelly. This is a line
Hmm.
of strip bars, long strip of bars and gambling dens and that kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you which bar to go into. Um, and I'd prefer if it was just you, Dizzy.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'll get one of the guys to drive me.
yeah. Um, and I think whenever you get there, I hand a couple of credits over and
I
say,
show up late, but
"Oh, yeah." And I've got a drink waiting for you, but it's gotten kind of warm since you're late. Um, but I slide you a couple of credits and I say, this is part of what I owe you.
yeah, yeah, cool, man. You came
Yeah.
in for some money?
Well, I did a job, so you know, I needed to spread everything around. I know I'm good for it. So, um, and I wanted to see you you're looking to move up, right? You'd like to.
Yeah, the bigger gigs, bigger cash.
Good, good, good. Yeah. Well, you see, I have some opportunities, but it might not be with our regular group. It might be with a different group. Are you okay playing with different groups?
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, we play all over town.
Are you okay signing to a different label?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great. Um, I think I think it'd be beneficial, and I can bring you in, and the money's good, and there's definitely possibility of advancement. of getting bigger stuff. So I'll set it up and
Well, look,
um
I want to play for that cat Platinum. You still working for him?
oh well um yeah, I'm working for him most of the time. Yeah. Um you know I have other people I work for because I kind of owe them. And I was talking about you working for the other people. But I can set something up with Platinum. I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good deal. I mean,
It, it
you set up a job with Platinum, and I'll play for your cats.
oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Anyone want to propose a deal here?
Yeah, I think one of us definitely should.
Okay.
Probably Steven's initiating it. Maybe you should
Yep.
roll it.
I'll do that. Um so let me see. So propose a deal.
Yeah, the consequences of propose a deal is that to break that deal, player characters will have to mark stress
Yeah.
to break that deal, and it also allows them to, and likewise, if they impose a condition on you, you'd have to mark stress to break that condition. You know,
Okay.
and
Ooh, that's
I
box
think that
cars.
yeah, well, that's the 12. So yeah, take the deal as it stands. So I think that yeah,
I think I'll take it as it stands. Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's amenable to both of us.
okay. So the deal then is that Dizzy is open to helping Sleazy out with anything that they ask for on behalf of this other label, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Set me
Perhaps,
up a gig with Platinum.
yeah, cool.
And I think that what I'll do is I'll set up a deal with Platinum. I need to go back and set up a deal with Platinum, but I'm gonna give you the card of Pazan and the nightclub that's just down the street from here. So you can, you know, whenever you go in, you're going to hand this card to, this ident chip to one of the bouncers, and that'll identify you to Pazan that you're working with us.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that works.
And let me go see what I can do with Platinum. You want this to be today or?
As soon as possible.
Okay. That sounds good. He likes your music, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Cool.
So
Okay,
that's
I
where
have
I'm going to head next. Is I'm going to go see if I can't find Platinum to, you know.
yeah, no. So I'm gonna go to Rich. We're gonna do Rich's hunt move. Then we're gonna do Platinum's send your boys move. And see how that complicates whatever Char ends up in. And then before that, once that's sort of in a good place, we're gonna go back to Platinum. We're gonna have a conversation between him and Celine. I think might help tie some of this stuff together. Um, so Char. Uh, when you hunt, when you track someone down.
I roll with savagery.
Nice.
That is an 11.
11. You catch them exposed or vulnerable. Now, where do we think you catch and those locations are obviously not exhaustive. You remember from playing in previous games that there was a much longer list of locations within 1313. If any of them are
Hmm.
particularly of interest to you, you may have them. But if you want to just frame a place that it is otherwise, you rolled high, you get to frame where you think the Dathomiri twins have taken um, collect and in what position they are that they're exposed.
Sorry, just looking at the collect write-up. He was exiled from the Tenwa clan.
He was,
So
yeah.
so the idea of the Tenwa clan wanting him back for whatever reason makes very little sense now that I put those two things together. It was a Black Suns thing. I think do the Black Sun do they have a power base? I don't want to stick them there, but I'm curious if they have a particular.
Oh, well, the Sarlacc's belly is no one knows who owns it at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
Rumored to be an off-world concern.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun. Let's stick it to the Sarlacc's belly because that That sounds like a terrible place for Char to go.
Yeah. So the Sarlacc's Belly, it's a fighting pit, one-on-one gang battles or beast fighting. It all goes on here. The closest thing that there is to a sort of like a representative is F1DO Fido, the old veterinary droid that patches up the beasts that get sent in. And there's a couple of like thugs like what are they called? The ones with the three eyes.
Oh, yeah, the cow dudes. Shoot.
Yeah,
Gran.
Thank
Grin. Yeah,
you.
yeah, Grants. Yeah. They're standing on the bouncers. They get out of your way rapidly. And yeah, Fido is working on they are exposed and vulnerable. So I think that what this is that they're vulnerable because one of the Dathomiri twins, the male one, he caught a blaster shot from Lola and Raki. So he's being treated by Fido, and so is Clacked, who was a bit roughed up in the extraction.
Nice.
And they're in this grimy like place that's meant to be that is used for like tending to the animals and making sure that they can get back into it. There's a wampa in a cage back there with battle scars all over it that's howling behind a sort of like soundproof field to keep it in place. And there's uh, a swarm of Minox, other Star Wars creatures in other cages. And the female Dathomiri twin doesn't appear to be around. But the male Dathomiri twin is, getting his arm patched up and you've got the drop on them. What do you do?
Mm-hmm. It's a one shot. So I'm gonna just roll one of my stun grenades in there.
Nice.
That's it. I just like come in, I look around, she's not there. I should probably figure out where she is. I'm rolling a stun grenade in because I can't be arsed with this. I gotta get stuff done.
Okay. I think that is a turn to violence, I think.
Sure. It sounds
There's no harm coming back at you
uh-huh.
because you've got the drop on them.
Okay, here we go. Gonna turn to violence, which is, I believe, rolling with savagery. Yeah, I like. I'm just gonna spam that savagery. All my moves. 9 is what I've got here.
9. Choose 2. You inflict terrible harm. You suffer little harm. You resist marking stress. You avoid collateral damage.
I'm not afraid of. I'm going to avoid collateral damage.
Okay. So
And
the collect isn't going to get caught in the stun blast then.
oh, I don't care about that.
Oh, that'd be the collateral damage,
Oh, okay, cool. Then avoid collateral damage and inflict terrible harm. Like, it's stun, but I definitely wanted to take out the death of Miriam.
Yeah. So, did you mark stress for rolling turn to violence?
I'm doing that now. Thank you for the
Cool.
reminder.
So there's a bump. Actually, no. The collateral damage would have been the cages being opened by the stun grenade, right? That just occurs to me as that would have been a much better one. But
Well, I avoided it.
You avoided it anyways, yeah. Cool. Collect is still yet to be treated. Fido is unaffected by the stun grenade as a droid. It just sort of like buffets them around, and Fido goes like, it is unwise to interrupt when a doctor.
I suggest you work on the Jawa first.
Looks at you up and down. Understood. And then, there's a good boy. There is a good boy. Come on, show me where it hurts. That's it. Goes through his veterinary like routines as the Jawa goes. And the Dathomiri twin is completely out. Now, I think this would be a good point for Platinum to roll their big shot. When you order your enforcers or agents to solve a problem on your behalf, roll with face.
Okay. So,
If you roll a hard miss, this is going to be great.
yeah, I think I have a face of 1. So let's see. 5.
Perfect. So, Rich, uh, you're extracting, collect. You got them like up, the Dathomiri twins completely cold out in the back in Fido's. And that's when you hear blaster fire coming from the outside in the fighting pit. It's there's somebody's come in. You're leading them back out into the exit path from the fighting the Sarlacc's belly. You can see that the bouncers, everybody, it looks as though like a small group of, oh my god, that's those laserhead Lola, along with 3 of the those chrome angels of platinums, and they are just tearing the place apart, looking for you. And there's everybody down here is strapped, right? So there's this huge fight going on suddenly down here. You can see opposite Kolkar, one of the members of the Coruscant force is calling for backup from underneath a table, having been down here. It's all going to Poodoo. What do you do? Lola screams, find Char, Platinum wants Char. You're muted, Rich.
Rocky, let's get out of here. I've got the Jawa. I'm heading towards the door, and just communicating, but not really going out of my way because I don't want to get this Jawa shot. Once the Jawa is safe, then other actions will be taken.
Okay, if you're not going to pressure them to
I'm totally going to pressure her.
Okay, then that means you're like, grabbing hold of Raki as they come running up to you. And you're
Yeah, I think I've cinched up the little Jawa and I have him on my shoulder.
Yes, yeah, perfect.
Which
yeah.
kind of sucks for him because I don't know if you've looked, but like there are these weird little follicle spikes. They're not spikes that you could use to like jam some, but they're not
Comfortable now.
Yeah, they're like big hair follicles from the creature that I claim to have killed. I don't know if I have or not. But yeah, Jawa up on shoulder, and I'll reach over and grab Rocky and pull her close. We've got to go. I've got the Jawa.
Okay. You got the Jawa? How did you get the Jawa? Are you working for them?
Get the Kark out of here. I took out the Deveronian.
Dathomirian.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
Dathomirian? Shit. For some
Dathomirian.
reason I had it as Deferent. The twins are Dathomirians. Yeah, that's great. I am terrible at that. So I just rolled a 4, so maybe I just called him a Deveronian. Who knows?
Deveronian. Deveronians? They were Dathomirians.
Whatever
What are
they
you
are.
hiding? What are you hiding, Char? And I think that's drop the Jawa. Like they're all like it's a complete like standoff, right? And that's when you hear the sirens of Coruscant Security coming in as Agent Koldar finally puts himself up from behind the table and goes, "Everyone freeze!" So the heat moves leave a messy crime scene could come to play, but I think you might need to make a move to get away from the. You know what? I'm happy for you to just roll leave a messy crime scene as these poodoo-brained enforcers have completely distracted and opened fire on Calder, but they're all coming in. But they've completely misread this scene. They think that you're taking them onwards. So that's what they'll tell Platinum, right? But that if you get Platinum back, it's fine. But now you've got to dodge Coruscant Security. Apologies for throwing you in on the hard end of everything, Rich, but
It's a one shot. I
it's a one
kind of
shot, and
expected it.
you're playing the fighter, basically.
Leaving a messy crime scene. I think I want to roll low, please.
Roll
Yay!
low.
I rolled a 5.
That is your heat is
A 1.
a 1, so that is a 6. So yes, you managed
No,
to.
I added the 1. I got it.
You added the 1 already. Sorry, I apologize.
It's
I
okay.
did. I'm not looking at the thing yet. So you leave a messy crime scene. You exit the scene. Tell the MC what potentially incriminating evidence you've left behind. I mean, I'm happy with the potentially incriminating evidence.
Oh no, I left it written in Arabic, like surprisingly good font. On the Dathomirian twins' forehead is a like sticky note that says "We're even" to the twin sister because I didn't kill him.
You didn't kill him. Nice. Yeah. I think that Koldar got a good look at you. Leaving behind the place. Because the incriminating evidence is for the heat. For the.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Both of those things are true then.
Yes. Yeah. I like the other one. Take a moxie. So. We'll go over to. So that's where we leave. Pan over as you bust out the back while these Poodoo Brain enforcers are shooting out with Coruscant Security. One of the angels goes down as Officer Koldar blows his head off with his heavy blaster pistol. Lola runs and grabs a stack of credits off a table, panicking, while Raki swears, and it's all kicking off there. But you do get away with the Jawa. Meanwhile, Platinum, you send your guys to deal with this. You don't know what Char's problem is or what they're up to, but you've sent some of your angels and some trusted enforcers to deal with this. Problem's well in hand, but Selena wants to talk to you. And Selena's, I think, hologram. We've got to have a hologram attraction, right? Like very fancy, like the flickering blue, this very elegant. I forget what the red skinned species of Star Wars is. I've been playing too much Star Trek. It has wiped my brain of all of these Star Wars alien races. Use all the Star Trek alien races, but she's one of them. And she's a Deveronian. She's a Deveronian. There we go. And she's Platinum. The situation on 1313 is getting out of hand. Coruscant Security is beginning to look harder. The cook, the losses, the people we lost, the product, the disruption to our product. If you can't keep a tight grip on things, then we need to turn that grip into a handshake. I want you to get Black Sun to the table. I want you to negotiate. Everyone, there's space enough for us all to do business down here, as long as the business keeps going. Yes?
With respect, on whose authority?
My Platinum. Where do you think your authority comes from?
Simply asking. And this has been run up the flagpole.
She just looks at you and says, we had hoped that a droid would be easier to deal with, more reliable. But I'm hearing that you're erratic, Platinum. That girl, that Biff, what you did to her, bad for business.
I don't even remember what you're talking about, but we droids need to follow a chain of command. Our orders must be ironclad. That's all I'm asking.
Then consider this an ironclad order from Nalhutta itself. Bring Black Sun to the table. I've already spoken to a representative of the Pyke Syndicate. They're willing to act as neutral ground.
Who will be meeting them? You? That would be best.
If I have to do all of your work for you, Platinum, what's the point? But you know what? If you want to pressure them to do so, or propose a deal in which that is what you can offer them or something like that. Remember that at the moment, your access to money, she's already she's the person who handles your money to the cartel, right? And your creds are quite low because of the disruption to all of your services, right? Like you don't have
Hmm.
much cash on hand. Um, but any of those things might be able to convince her to come down and be part of this deal.
Okay.
And,
So yeah,
waiting
I-
for it.
I'm gonna propose a deal then. Um, and I think it's maybe the use of my angels or my sort of broader network with
Yeah,
that. Because I'm not sure what else I have to offer. I've
it is a hard one given that you're the boss and she's your boss, right?
yeah,
So like
yeah,
I think that technically the use of the angels would be in theory already within her grasp,
implicit,
right?
right?
You
That's
know,
true. Um, yeah. The only other thing I can imagine is me doing personally acting as a protocol droid, sort of on her behalf. Doing sort of being in that direct
you could
subservient.
you could offer to make some of your troubles go away by meeting with the ISB overseer for lower level order and security, perhaps, and convincing him to ease
Hmm.
pressure off the cartel. That would be a deal, like to say I will
Yes.
go above and beyond my duties basically, and like show you how good it could be. You
So
know,
yeah. So say this Commander Shatterblade. I'll meet him. I'll make him see it our way. That's a promise.
roll those dice.
Okay. So I think I have a +1 for this, right? Yeah. So all right, let's see if I get out of the trenches here. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, there you go, 9.
A 9. Impose a condition on your offer, adjust the price, and accept. Point you an interested party. I think the condition on your offer is going to be good. That would be good work, Platinum. But I have to tell you, this needs to be a peaceful meeting. The summit, they're not going to bring any weapons. We're not going to bring any weapons. The Pikes
Yes.
promise this. No slipping in any droids with explosives. Nothing. Every single member of our organization that goes there, including you, needs to be unarmed. I'm not going to have us break the terms of our negotiation before it's even started.
This is the sort of wisdom that I'm trying to receive. I thank you.
She calls off, So, okay.
Okay. So yeah. Yeah, I'll go uh smash some things. And especially I've got sort of my big rack of like spice and drug concoctions that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just absolutely trash all that stuff. Um, and wait for I think Char is coming. So I'm preparing to have an audience with him.
Yeah. So, it's top of the hour. I need a toilet as well. So we'll take a 5 minute break. We'll come back at 5 past. Okay. So I think we've got, what did I say? The scenes that we have to do are Platinum and Char, Platinum and Sleazy, Platinum and Lieutenant Shatterblade, and then we allow Dizzy and Char and whoever to set up whatever they need to set up for the coming peace negotiation between all of the involved players. The cartel apparently having very little idea that the Pyke Syndicate are already working to undermine them. Um, Obviously, Platinum suspects that everybody's out to undermine them. So why don't we have Char arriving at Platinum's? So,
Okay.
Rich, do you want to frame the scene since you're
Sure. What kind of play? So Platinum shows a bit of flash. I would imagine he has a nice looking domicile of some kind. Is it a an estate or is
Okay.
it a penthouse in some kind of high rise within the subterranean expanse of 1313? What do you think?
How about pleasure barge?
Mm, that works.
That is amazing.
Like, floating in the middle of these big, weird in underground, like, internal skyscrapers that Coruscant has as a pleasure barge. Styled after Jabba, of course,
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I imagine he's got sort of uh, ropes and platforms that he'll lower sometimes to sort of let people uh, 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 come on board without him having to land anywhere. So yeah, so
Yeah,
lower
so
one of
I
platforms
rent
here.
a speeder,
Mm.
speeder taxi to take me up to whatever landing platform there. He's not climbing up a carking rope to get to Platinums.
Yeah, it's 10-watt taxis. The Jawa in the front is like,
Awesome. I was probably talking smack about Kleck, but I don't care.
yeah.
Just, get off, pick up Kleck. I assume Kleck's awake, but I'm still kind of carrying him.
King his little legs, yeah.
Yeah, kicking his little legs. And whatever angels, robot, droid assistants, just brush past them, head towards Platinum.
So yeah, Platinum's chambers are decked with all sorts of gaudy f fabrics and stuff on the walls, lots of kind of beanbag like cushions all over the place.
You have
It's
like a really dope looking oil bath of some kind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got a hookah style sort of laced oil arrangement that he's got as well. But yeah, it's sort of all things that you would imagine a biological would want. But for him, it's mostly pointless. But he'll sort of usher you in, and he says, "Oh, leave that one out, please. I don't care for the smell. Run along."
Sorry, little guy. Maybe you should get back to cooking somewhere safer.
So when he's out of the room, I've Platinum has a couple of Gonk droids, the sort of like big trash can looking guys that are in the room. And he says, "So I have it on good authority that, well, you made it out in one piece in this initial exchange. That's strange. It's very strange. I think I think you cut a deal. I think you might be a double agent. Worse, maybe just a single agent. But I don't hold it against you. You've been out for your planet, your hunting culture is degraded in you. You no longer understand the honor of your people. So, I have an offer to make you. Everything will be right between you and me, now and for good, if you help me get rid of a different traitor. I
There
have
are,
it on.
there are,
Oh,
there are two moves here. There's get the truth out of someone or justify your behavior, depending on who wants to roll for it. If you wanted to establish whether or not you believe that Char is did actually, so Char could either roll justify their behavior to say that this is what happened, boss, I promise, or you could try and get the truth out of them. I would say get the truth is probably less interesting because it's I can't see a reason why Char would lie. This is all a problem of
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm also wondering, like, why is Char not shooting Platinum? He
So,
definitely like Platinum's pushing it hard,
so,
but
so hold on. At this point, this might change the framing a little bit. So because ultimately I'm trying to pressure him. I'm trying to get him to do something awful.
Mm-hmm.
So the gonks, their little flaps open, and you see sort of the lit flamer, sort of ignition lights are on. This is if you deal with another traitor, Selena. Again, I've got authority. She's working for Black Sun, calling this this ruse, this peace negotiation. If you can eliminate her from me, then all will be well. You will lead at my right hand, not as a employee, as my equal. If you don't, I think I might just roast you alive here. Seems the least I should do. What do you say?
Are you going to dice? So I'm just checking. I thought you were setting up the move, so I was waiting for.
In theory, I'm trying to pressure, but I don't know if that really works here.
I don't
Sure.
think this needs a role. I don't think here because it's a you are his boss still technically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't necessarily need a role.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
You said you were indicating towards it, and I wanted to give space for it.
yeah. It's up to you if you're how Char feels about because I think that Char knows enough about Selena to know that they're the boss's boss. You know, they're a member of the cartel as well, right? And they're a bigger fish than any of you. Uh,
Platinum. You do recall that Selena is above you.
Correct. The rod is deep. Must be carved out. This won't fall upon you. I have the evidence.
All right. Well, it's a risky gamble you're taking here. I hope you can compute that.
Ah, I can compute many things. Do you think we should make peace with these scum?
I think
Because
we
that's what
should
she's proposing.
peace for now until we get the upper hand. What I would assume she's after. Is that what's making her a traitor? Or
You
is
leave
there
that.
something else?
You leave that to me.
sounds like you have reservations, Char.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then I think it is a precious one then.
Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna roll usually with hustle because of my sort of reputation for violence. I've got a little bit better chance here. So, right. 13. Jesus.
Nice. That's a hell of a roll.
So you have to go along for now or mark stress.
I cannot mark stress.
Exactly.
Ah, perfect.
He
Well,
knows where he has you.
All right, boss.
And you should like this. No weapons allowed. So you get to get your hands, your paws dirty. That's what your kind likes, isn't it?
I just love it.
So it should be discreet. We can blame it on them if we must. And then I'll present the evidence to our hut friends. You should be happy. You should be smiling. Perhaps this is what a smile looks like for your people.
I don't have the muscles
Here,
for a
here,
smile, Platinum.
here you go. So I'll reach out my metal fingers and lift his cheeks into something like a smile.
That's got to be a great final shot of the scene, right? As the teeth come out from underneath. uh, okay, well, I'm conscious of time, so we're going to go to Sleazy. You wanted to make sure that Dizzy can be perform at the gig. Um, the problem with the crime boss is that when everything revolves around the crime boss, when the crime boss leaves, there you go. So
Sorry.
another scene with Sleazy and Platinum.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can't slip into Platinum's area. This is your barge. I have a speeder that I use. It's kind of run down, but it's fast and it'll get me there. And I think I land. I see Char on the way out and kind of give Char a nod and head on into Platinum's.
Will, just in the because of time too, could I be there too? Part of
Yeah,
the meet?
yeah, sure. Why not? You know,
Maybe Platinum wants to meet me.
yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, why not? I think it'd be good to have you. Yeah, and I would love that because I've been trying to think of ways to get you into scenes for the last
Sure.
5 minutes. Yeah,
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, so I give you a ride on my speeder. We land, we nod at Char on the way in, and I walk up to, Platinum, can I just walk on in? You've
Oh,
taken
Uh,
me under your wing.
I'm
yeah.
gonna insist that Nukin is with you as well, another member of the band, just because I need to have those band members within firing line sometimes, and I can't
Sure.
think of anything better than to
Sure.
have them next to Platinum, the incredibly paranoid android.
We could just be kind of like noodling our instruments in the background, just showing that we've got chops, you know.
Mm.
So I come in, I say, uh, Platinum,
Yes.
I have a very good opportunity. There is a band, as you can see behind me, that is warming up, and I think this is something that would expand upon your uh, knowledge of the flesh bags of the meat people.
Mm-hmm.
That they enjoy these noises and they enjoy this music, and it makes you seem prestigious if you have a house band. And I've talked to the leader Dizzy, and he is amiable to for the right compensation to play for you. And I think that your entourage will enjoy it a great deal.
This is actually very good timing. I'm auditioning new dancers, so I've got a bunch of sort of biologicals who are here. Um, you can help me pick, and you have a band they can play.
Yes, yes. So I
Mhm.
think I turn to Dizzy and I'm like, Dizzy, let's start up a dance music
One,
and
two, three, hit it.
So yeah,
Play some jizz.
so the dancers are on harnesses so that I can basically with a button just sort of launch them out of the room, not like to their death, but just just out of here, out of out of my sight.
and I think, I lean over to Platinum and I'm like, number two isn't of your stature.
Mm.
Yes. You
So
should she should be out.
so I say, be my guests. I point to the button.
Oh, and I press the button, um, and then look at the eyes of shot. I actually enjoy pressing the button because I'm not in power very often, and I kind of grin back at Platinum, and I'm kind of excited, and watch the faces of all the other dancers as they get scared
Uh,
and surprised.
Stephen, would you like to dish out a beatdown, roll with
Oh,
savage
yeah, yeah,
stress
that sounds
food?
great. My savagery is a 0, so it's just flat. That's a 7.
So yeah, you get to clear 1 stress from your starting stress. Uh, as yeah, it's not enough to clear entirely, but you do enjoy it. It does relieve your you feel in control. despite being effectively controlled by all your decks and everything across the. Nice.
Yeah,
So
and
despite Platinum's whole thing about Char not being able to smile, he can't smile either. So he always has to laugh or show some of their signs. Ha 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 ha. So I clap my horrible little hands and laugh my canned laugh.
Dizzy, you're here. Is there anything you'd like to do? Do you want to size someone up?
Yeah,
I would allow you.
I've been watching Platinum as I've been playing. So I've got this move under the spotlight. So I'm gonna size him up and try to get that +1 forward. Roll with hustle, which is +1 for me. And I got a 12.
Sweet. So you can ask 4 questions.
Okay. And this goes directly to Eric. Let me get that open. So I get 3 +1 for the move, so 4 questions. Size someone up. What are your current weaknesses?
I think that his biggest weakness is probably that he's trying for this power grab, this incredibly risky, super unwise power grab, thinking that if he can kill Selena, that he'll just slot right in to
Right.
the new spot. So he's blinded this by this plan. Like that's the only thing he cares about.
How could I get you to hire me for the gig?
Um, if you launch one of these ladies out of here, then you're in.
Um, let's see. What do you intend to do next?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the two things are to go speak to this ISB officer, or to sort of put the screws to him to back off, and then the meet. But I guess you already know about the meet. But yeah, so I think before then he's got to do the this ISB um strong arming or pressuring.
Okay. And lastly, how could I get you to accept this instrument that I have, this horn, as a present?
Hmm. Um, if it's maybe if it sort of complements my outfit, trying to think of what everything he has is shiny, including his droids. Um, so he would need to think it works as like as an accessory, maybe even just as not something he'd use, but the equivalent of like a almost like a riding crop, that someone would have around, or
Sure.
um,
So I'll say like the band will pause and I'll come up to you and I'll say, "Hey man, it's not really my thing to hurt these sweet ladies, but you know, if you hire, I'd love to work for you and I'd like to give you this, man, instead of pushing that button and hurting somebody, how about if I just give you this sweet horn? It really matches your chrome."
I think Sleazy leans forward and says, "How about if you let Platinum play a solo in
Oh
your
yeah,
band
man.
with that instrument?" And I lean over to Platinum and I'm like, "That will drive everyone wild whenever you show your talents of how good you are."
I didn't know you could play. Sure, man. That works.
And I lean over to Dizzy and I'm like, "You don't have to make him. He doesn't have to play. You have to make him look good."
Right.
Okay.
I think what we're setting up here is that during the meet, Platinum will play a solo to blow the socks off the thing with that instrument, right? And I think this is a pressure someone with a help from Sleazy if Platinum isn't already like just foaming at the bit for it already, you know?
Sure. We
I
should roll
think
it anyways, just to put the pressure on. He can always
yeah,
accept, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that Platinum is nervous about the fact that he has no knowledge or sort of physiological ability to play this thing, but I think
You
he's
just gotta install some software, man. You get it.
yeah, I think so I think he's probably hesitant, but not totally opposed.
then pressure someone and
Plus
you
hustle.
Do you want me to roll help first?
yes after a
Oh,
piece
okay.
after a piece
Is that
he
how you
might
want
roll
to
a
do?
10
Okay.
plus and then you don't need
Oh,
to.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. 7 plus 1 is 8. So what help is what, a +1?
Help
Or does
you
it kick it up
can
a level?
It just gives a +1. You know what? I'm going to fudge that rule and I'm going to say it gives you as many pluses as you wagered stress.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's how they do it in that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not how they do it in this, but I think that's a better rule, and it's one I'm going to remind myself to change later, tweak later on. So you can wager stress to roll and give them a because I actually hate +1s as a help move because it's so edge case. You know.
Hmm.
So Stephen, if you rolled a +2, you could give them a +2 to the roll.
Okay. I'll do that. Do you want me to roll first?
No, he's already rolled an 8, so
Oh,
you
okay.
need a +2 up.
Sounds like you get a hit.
So I'll add 2 to my stress and let me roll it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Ooh.
A 14. So you don't even you can wipe that stress. You don't even have to keep it. It just and platinum. That's set up. Now I'm just aware of the time, so I'm going to cut away from that. Just for shits and giggles, rather than frame the whole scene. Platinum, how you are going to convince Lieutenant Shatterblade?
Okay, so Platinum is losing his artificial mind. So he is going to I think he's going to threaten his family.
Okay, so I think that is
Um
a precious and one rule. So let's just see
yeah.
that precious and one.
And I'm going to go into his office sort of on my own, doing it myself.
Yes.
So, okay. Um,
This will be a purely like positioning role for what the Imperials are in this whole situation.
sure,
So
sure. I name his housekeeping droid.
mm,
Uh-oh. Only a 6.
yeah, I mean, it seems as though Shatterblade's sufficiently cowed. Yeah, entirely. Yeah.
So,
Uh,
okay,
it-
I leave pleased as punch then. Everything is coming up platinum.
uh, Great. Everything is coming up platinum. There's no way any of this can go wrong. So we cut to 8 lives. This big fancy thing. The Pikes have got like sophisticated weapons, scanning equipment, getting all the members of the cartel and the Black Sun. Celine is in attendance as well. Um, Paisar is, speaking genteelly with her over cocktails, or as I understand what they drink in Andor is actually Iron Brew, which is a great drink that I'm sure none of you are familiar with, but it's fucking banging. It's a British soft drink from Scotland that they say has girders in it because it's got a high iron content. It's like Scotland's national soft drink. It's amazing. I wish I'd bought a can of it now, to be honest. I drink it all the time. But that's what they're drinking in Andor, apparently. So that's what everyone's drinking here because it's the classiest drink available. Um, and yeah, Prince Zux is there as well. The Dathomiri twins are standing in these white like fine suits. Based the Dathomiri twins off the other twins from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, looking very sinister. And there's this hot jizz band playing in the corner. And I guess uh, see this.
And I think that's probably at this point it's Selena. And I
Mm,
go over to Selena and I start talking up, Platinum and the band and, this is a great time. Look at what they put up, you know. And I think whenever um Platinum is getting ready to do a solo, I lean over to Selena and say, I set that up.
nice, nice.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Just because we haven't rolled it yet, why don't you roll your connected one to see whether you owe them a favor or apology?
Oh yeah, perfect. So that is with face. My face is 2. That's an 11.
Sweet. Then they're not. They're really good. You did good work here, Sleazy. You know what? Forget about that thing. I mean,
Yeah,
I know I have.
I really appreciate that. You know, I was worried about it, and it's why I came over to talk to you. And I'm so glad that we could work this out between us. Just enjoy the show.
I will. I will. All things can be worked out between all of us, I'm sure. And she looks dubiously over at Platinum, like on the other side. Um, Char, I think, I want to give you an opportunity to follow through on your mission here. It's like the drinks, the party, they've not got down to business yet. It's in the whole schmoozy section of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you tell me if there's anything you want to do to, read a charge situation, perhaps, or
Yes, I think I've got I set up a secure security scanner. Try to listen in here, and I would like to read that situation with a look.
yes, so go for it.
Ugh,
7, ask one.
7. Where's my escape route?
Your escape route is in the robotic dumbwaiters that bring up all of the food and drinks from the lower levels of the eight lives. It's big enough to fit to run into. What's your plan for taking out Selena?
Oh, well. No one suspects me, so they're checking weapons. Is that right?
Weapons, yeah. Are you going to grab her when she goes to the refresh station?
Yeah, that sounds like the best choice.
Okay. Well, we know that's what's happening the next time Selena disappears off camera and Chara disappears off camera. That's where that's what's going to happen, right? Um, so we've got we've got Dizzy doing his great performance in front of everyone. Yeah. Zux nodding along. Zux next to you, Platinum, saying, I'm sure that you don't really understand this, but that is really good music. Uh, it's good to see that even with your limitations, you are able to at least employ people who could do the job for you.
This is Selena, is that right?
Now, this is Zux, the Black Sun person that you're supposed
Oh,
to
right.
deal with.
Right. So say, yes, a droid could never understand music, much less play it. It's a miracle among you blessed uh biologicals.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations.
The Jedi believed that droids had no connection to the Force. And, well, seeing how your operations have been going recently, I'd say, well, the evidence is clear, isn't it? But I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement.
Interesting to bring up the Jedi, as though you admire them, as though you think their religion is legitimate. It's an interesting perspective to have.
And he looks over at one of the Dathomiri twins, who just gives a nod, and he says, there are more powerful things than you can imagine in this galaxy. But then imagination is never the strong point of droids, was it?
Oh, you have me there, sir.
Uh, and I am wondering what to do now. What should we cut across to? Should we, Jason, Dizzy, do you
Is it
want
time for
to?
Dizzy to call Platinum up to the stage?
I think that's the cool one, isn't it? Yeah, let's get Platinum up to the stage for this solo.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you, ladies and gents. You guys have been great. We've really enjoyed playing here tonight. But I got a special treat for you. In addition to being a top-notch droid, Platinum is also a mean player on this horn here. And he's agreed to come on up and play a little something. We're going to clear the stage. Everybody step back and enjoy. and I'll try to like usher myself and the band off, make our exit.
I mean, I'm going to put one condition on this,
Okay.
is that Platinum's going to go up, but the stage is cleared, but his dancers are up.
Oh, okay.
Some innocents are going to be in the firing line here that you didn't really plan for, because otherwise,
Okay.
Cartel, right?
I will try to make a roll then to pressure or convince
there is a
Platinum.
guy-
I know you enjoy all the spotlight. You don't need these dancers. I think everybody should see your chrome and all the shine. Why don't you let me take these ladies to the side and get them a drink?
I think that Platinum's already going up. I think you have to convince Paisan, the Pyke.
Okay. Okay.
Because he's the manager of this thing, yeah. And Paisan's like, no, Platinum was very clear.
Now, Pazan is the one who originally made this deal with me, gave me the horn, right?
No, that was Gator. That was
that was Gator. Okay.
Yeah, there are two. It's the usual Cartel problem of everybody's a liar and a shit. And so
okay. So Gator doesn't know about the explosive or the bomb.
Paisan doesn't know, yeah. Paisan doesn't
okay,
know.
so I'll try to, same thing, but I'll try to convert Gator then. Or is it Pazan I got to, whoever it is I got to convert.
Yeah.
Same line, basically.
Yeah, so yeah, try and pressure them.
Okay. Let me see if
I'm afraid I'm going to give you a -1 because you're just some musician, right?
Sure.
You're the least important person here.
And let's say that -1 is actually Sleazy saying, "Oh no, the dancers will help. They'll make him look good."
Well, you can do what is it? The opposite of help.
I could do an interfere, and I was considering it, but I think the -1 narratively makes more sense. So that's fine.
Okay. I just thought maybe I had something in my stats here or something.
You have Guardian Angel about moving to protect someone if this fails.
Yeah, that's true. And I rolled my grit, which is -1, but let's do it just for fun.
Yeah.
So would that fill here then instead?
Well,
Move to protect someone before violence.
Rather than convincing them, you would just be in a position to maybe push them out of the way in time.
Yeah, just try to like do it quickly and
you don't want to
using charm.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so I'll roll with -1 on grit. Oh, that's a 3.
That is a 3. So you're a beat behind the violence. You can mark 2 stress to hold.
On a miss, you're a beat behind the violence. You can mark 2. I'll mark 2 stress. You can clearly see me sweating through my suit.
Yes. Now, Char, you've only got 1 stress left.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting in the bathroom, and it turns out that I got some little bit of spice there. I'm just gonna get a little high. It'll be a good call. This is the right choice. This is perfect time to do it. So I'll just do that.
Okay.
Lose myself in a substance.
Yeah.
So I roll plus grit, which is for me a +1.
As Kendall Roy on Succession calls it, it's a straightener. That's all.
And I rolled exactly as it should be. That is a 6.
Oh. So you're in deep. You don't clear your stress track, and you're with spice. So you overlook a crucial deadline or event. Now, do you think this is you getting so high that you're just collapsed in a booth while Celine just goes in and leaves, or do we think this is that you're going to miss the solo and everything that happens there?
Oh God, they're both so juicy. I do like the don't get Selena in bathroom to cause do I escalate at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like too high in the refresher. Selena walks in, just sees the Trandoshan's clawed feet twitching beneath a stall, shrugs, washes her hands, and leaves. Platinum, you're up on the stage. You saw Char go to the refresher ahead of it. Yes, it's all coming together. And then Celine just comes back down, raises a glass to you, looking absolutely peaceful and completely untouched, and Char's nowhere to be seen. Now,
right.
I think we set up the that you are, you're definitely holding this explosive right now. I think that what we're gonna do is I think we're just gonna have you roll get carking shot.
Okay.
When this goes off, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I go up on stage with my cape sort of flowing, and I plug in my little hydraulic tank into this horn, and I do my very best.
Okay, so I'm going to say that like the performance is going really well, right? Your little routine is doing pretty well, and the it's obviously all smoke and mirrors, right? It's like a pre-programmed
Yeah,
type or
yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah.
But Zux is almost like pleasantly surprised, and he's like applauding gently, uh, but you're going to get carking shot as it explodes. Um,
Okay.
and I think that it is so. You carking shot, you want to be high, but I don't believe that you don't get any pluses to this because it's not a blast pistol or a small weapon. The
Mhm.
shooter's not an amateur or trying to kill or isn't trying to kill you. You don't have cover body armor or a bodyguard. This is a
Yeah.
full on uh,
Okay. So yeah, I'm playing my recorded routine that I forced some poor bastard to play for me so I could recreate it, and boom.
okay. You roll
7.
7. On a 7 to 9, you choose one, and the shooter chooses one. In this case, the shooter is dizzy.
Can I try to hinder that roll?
You
Is
can
that
try to
possible?
do with that roll. Yes, you can. Yeah, entirely.
Um, not what form would that take?
I think it would be maybe like it could be almost a retrospective like interfere, in the sense of like you're saying like what you need to do is like here's how
Got
you
to
make
hold it
it do
right
it.
up to your
Like,
face.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to
Really
lean
with
back.
that high pulse.
Yeah,
So what's that plus? Whatever I
whatever
commit.
you wager. Yeah,
Well, I'm at 4, so can I even do this? Because you have to commit at least once. Can you go to 5? I think can't you get stressed out in this game, or
you
is
can get stressed
5?
if you're
Yeah.
stressed out.
Can you choose to go to 5?
You can choose to go at 5. You just can't go over it. So if you only got a +1, then you can only go
Yeah.
-1 to it.
Okay, so
That's
2d6
where we're
plus
at.
1 is what am I rolling then? Two just straight 2d6 or
Yeah, 2d6 +1. So
plus
you'll
1?
only,
Okay, here we go.
which will be enough to take him to a miss anyway.
Darn, it's only a 6.
It's a 6. So um, yeah, Platinum, you're playing this
Hmm.
in exactly the moves, and that's when you feel it begin to vibrate and heat up intensely, rapidly, and you make the connection that this was all a plan, and you know that this musician was in on it, right? And that's when it goes boom. You're just about to throw it away from you, right? Now Jason, you've got that. You're right. You're surrounded by these dancers. Jason, you've got your guardian angel. You can, you got one hold. You can redirect an attack against them to the wall of the floor, or move them behind cover. I'd say you could just dive onto the stage and knock them down. If you want to spend your hold there as it happens.
Platinum ended up with a 7 and 9, so he does have to choose one of those, right?
Yeah, you
Bloody,
can
messy,
choose
or
the other one.
painful.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to frame how
Okay.
you're.
Yeah. Let me get to my character. Um, I'll move them behind cover. So I moved them, behind the stage or something, so that they're out of the out of the radius of the explosion.
Yeah, your complicity in this event is entirely visible to everybody.
Right. It's obvious that I knew this
Yeah,
was going to
yeah, yeah,
happen.
yeah. That's when Char comes back into the room groggily, right? Just as like you dive and knock him at the dance out of the way, and then so choose one of those options from get carking shot. Eric,
Okay, so it's just me choosing one then?
no, it's a
Okay.
7 to 9, so it's you choose one and the shooter chooses one.
Right. Okay. Okay. So he's still picking one though, right? So
Yeah,
yeah. So I'll pick that it leaves an impressive ugly scar. I imagine it kind of blows sort of
yeah.
half of the chrome off of his head and a lot of it off of his body in a way that won't ever be something he can repair. So
Nice,
his all of the sensors in his kind of big bug insect eye are sort of exposed and sort of moving around.
nice. And Jason, you get to choose one.
I'll choose bloody.
You'll die without immediate aid. Yeah, there's hydraulic, coolant fluids leaking out of you, power levels dropping, platinum.
I've got to know this is probably Platinum's like the greatest moment of his life in this moment before, because he was truly
Yeah.
doing this biological thing and impressing all these biologicals. So it's pretty rough.
Uh, it's immediately pure chaos, right? The Dathomiri twins, are unarmed, but then they grab glasses from the table and immediately like leap on the nearest cartel person that they see and like slit their throat. Prince Zux kicks over the table. Um, it's pure chaos. And outside you hear the sound of blaster fire, and someone comes running in, bouncing off Sleazy, grabbing hold of them, and said, "Goddamn Imperials, man! They're coming in heavy. Like, there's a goddamn E-web out there. Like, I swear, there's an ATST. Like, oh, one of the smaller patrol ones, you know. And like, Lieutenant Shatterblade didn't take being threatened very kindly. He decided to just go nuclear on the entire, all of the scum and villainy of 1313. So outside, the Imperials are basically like coming in hard. Inside this explosion, Platinum, you're badly injured. Char, you see Celine there. You see Platinum nearly dead. Sleazy, I'm going to go around in order. I'm going to ask people what they're going to do, and it's going to go with. I'm going to go with Platinum last and Dizzy last because I think that's the most thing actually. So I'm going to go with Sleazy first. I think. What are you going to do, Sleazy?
I'm going to run away. I have a
Nice.
move called Escape.
That's what I
And
thought you
I'm
would
like,
do.
I look at everyone and I'm like, oh, yeah. Especially, I think I make eye contact with Celine, and
Mm.
I'm like, I just told her I did this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me roll that. Oh, that's an 8.
That's an eight.
Um,
Leave something behind or take something with you. Your choice.
what would be good for me? Oh, I leave all those coins behind.
You leave all your creds behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It gets, like you're dashing through, and that, your jacket gets ripped as you leave through that dumbwaiter that we were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Uh, the door shuts, and on the outside of it is like half of your coat, and it just wrenches out and spills credits all across the floor.
exactly.
Perfect. Char, what about you?
Heading to the dumbwaiter, staggering, come out of the bathroom, see everything, see Platinum is in a lot of trouble, and I just stagger my way to the dumbwaiter, and I'm getting out of there.
Okay. I think that is going to be a flee from security for you.
Okay, uh, I I will do it, but I did look for my best way out, so I will
No,
at
plus
least
one,
hope for some kind of okay, all right,
or a minus one in this case,
oh right, because
because roll low.
flee from security, yeah, 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 cool, thank you. Oh man, can you do that in this?
Well, we can do it afterwards.
Nah, you can do it.
See, not so dumb.
6. Thank goodness for
Nice.
that -1.
Yeah. So down in the depths of the kitchens, while people are running around and screaming and everything like down there as well. They're going, "What's going on?" Right? Sleazy rolls out from a dumbwaiter, and then from the dumbwaiter on the opposite side, the one that was serving drinks, Char rolls out as well. Right? Like both of them staring at each other. I think we've got to cut back upstairs though to Dizzy and Platinum. Now I'm going to go with Platinum. I always want to find out. Dizzy's dive down. I don't think Dizzy's like a combat person, right? So this explosion's like probably a bit shaky. Your band member, Nassim, is standing over you, like hauling you up, and it's all shaky cam, right? But Platinum, what is it that you do in this scene?
So I was thinking I might, can I do the big shot move here? What I wanted to say is just scream, kill them all. And so my sort of droids, she told me not to have any droids around with weapons and such, but that's what he would have tried to do. So that's one option. If I can't do that, I've got
I don't think you can because we didn't have time to set up that you'd
got it.
snap
Okay.
words, like
So okay. So then all right, so then I'm gonna look down at him at Dizzy, and with sparks sort of flying out of my sort of vocal module, say, "Why?" And I'm gonna try to strangle him to death.
You knock aside Nassim and just leap on top of Dizzy, right?
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a turn to violence.
yeah.
Uh,
Although I guess I would have noted Char leaving and screamed that he was a traitor, of course, but
mhm.
everyone's a traitor. Okay, so yeah, turn to violence. So I think I've got +1. So because I imagine I still don't make the connection about the dancer.
What about? No, I mean you don't know, right? Like Dizzy, you could be choking. You could choke something out as he's on top of you.
Sure.
Because I imagine that we're gonna, depending on how this turn to violence goes, Dizzy's gonna get a chance to turn to violence as well, right? So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I got an 11.
Oh,
11. Oof. So I mean, this is an exchange harm. You can roll to interfere, but you don't have a stress to wager to you at this point.
no, I don't. I was
In
looking
fact,
to see if I could do some sort of like stress reduction, but
no, and in fact, it means that you can't turn to violence in return. So you're just gonna have to suck this up, I'm afraid.
yeah, yeah.
So okay, so then I can choose 3. So I'm gonna um yeah, I guess I'll inflict terrible harm, suffer a little harm, and guess avoid collateral damage, which
I
well, I don't know. What do you think?
I think if you resist marking stress, then possibly one of his bandmates is going to get hurt as well in this.
Oh, meaning that would be a good thing.
Yeah,
Um,
because we're at
yeah,
the
yeah,
last.
yeah.
This is literally the last roll because we've got 7 minutes
Yeah,
left. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, yeah. I think if one of his bandmates tries to help, I'll sort of claw him with one of my metal hands.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so with like hydraulic fluid like leaking onto his face, I'm strangling him, asking why.
Yeah, so Nassim was knocked aside, and like you're strangling Dizzy. Dizzy, do you want to say anything as the light begins to fade from your eyes?
Well, let me ask you this, Will. Which one did you not choose? The collateral damage?
Didn't choose the collateral damage yet.
I'm wondering if him turning to this instead of taking care of his medical problems might mean he dies, in
Oh,
addition
I
to
mean,
me
yeah,
dying also, that we both
yeah,
die.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's going to be a mutual death.
So I'll probably just be like spit blood in his face and say, you're going with me, you bastard, for what you did to Demina, whatever her name was.
Nice.
So
And
I, so I say, "Who?" And then
Yeah, exactly.
as I expire.
and you're going down with a smile on your face, Dizzy, and the last thing you see is Nasreen, the addict, who was trying to convince you to not go down this path, run over, and Platinum just backhands them with a robot arm, and their head cracks around, and they slump down next to you, and then that's as we cut out, to the outside of it, as an Imperial like gunship just begins unloading heavy weapons fire into Eight Lives, just demolishing it. Um, and outside in a hover limo, Celine, Prince Zux, and Pazan look at each other and say, "Well, what a party!" And end of Hook Cartel one shot, guys. I think. Yeah,
We
uh,
made it.
you made
Kind
it.
of.
Kind of, yeah, yeah. Thank you all guys all for playing. We've got time to just do a quick stars and wishes. Any improvements that you might think might be done for the one shot setup? Because I do think that Hook Cartel can really work as a one shot.
Mhm.
But I am conscious that this is the second time I've run it where it's ended in a big shootout at Eight Lives. And I'm wondering if maybe there are other ways for this to go. But yeah, let's do it in reverse character keeper order, in fact. So let's go with Dizzy the musician first, who I'd like to apologize for maybe not getting into as many scenes that I would have liked.
No, I got into all the scenes I needed to. I appreciate you letting me get to the end of my little story. Great character. Everybody did great. Yeah, I mean, it's a little short for time. Maybe an extra hour. Maybe do a 4 hour instead of three. Might have been a little flesh it out a little bit more, but
Yeah, I
we're
think
doing
you're right.
well.
Cool. Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Stephen?
Yeah, I thought this went well. I thought you managed time well. I liked how you hard framed and cut between everyone and tried to make sure everyone had a chance for their stuff. Um, I had difficulty hitting my keys because in a one shot there's a lot of moving things. It was something I tried to pay attention to, but that's just on me. But
Hmm.
otherwise, no. I really appreciated like Jason said, getting us into that, everybody at the end, everybody together, everybody doing their thing. You gave little missions out to everybody, and everybody tried to do them. Whether they succeeded or not was up to the dice. That was all good.
Thank you, Stephen. I think the one thing is going to maybe before the full pre-gen is predefine keys and have those in mind so I know what to direct people in. Rich?
It was good. I enjoyed myself. It's tough to in a game where PvP is very heavily on the table to get folks in a group to have conversations and not shoot each other. And I think you did a pretty good job managing that until the end when you terribly failed. They all shot at each other or ran away. But that was a good ending. It was exciting. I think in a place like 1313, shootouts in a nightclub is the most exciting. Like I think if you wanted it to happen other places, you may want to just grab it and put it somewhere where, or better to not better, define other opportunities like a foundry or some other things that seem space opera big and might
Yeah.
have scum hang out there, might give some options to get it out of a nightclub. But I don't have a problem with it being in a nightclub. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, you immediately made me think like I should just if I end up coming towards this meet of everybody, which wasn't a thing I had in mind at the start, right? It would be to like say pick one of these three locations that you have.
There you go.
Uh, but thank you, Rich. And finally, Eric.
Yeah, no, I mean it was great. I think I would have loved another hour just because I think just because it was going so great, but I also think it would help with gathering more stress, so we'd have to do more of the like stress moves to get rid of them because I think that's a fun way to make everyone feel like they're unstable and but yeah, and within 3 hours it's hard for but I was very glad that Rich did his and completely blew the entire assassination, which is perfect. These are scumbags, right? And I really liked that Dizzy was the only one who was really man enough for Platinum's taste. Everyone else ran away, so I'm glad that he had a sort of worthy opponent, even if he never understood why it was. But yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, I think the club thing is perfect because there's stuff to do and everyone kind of like part of the thing with Star Wars, it's great because we can all picture Star Wars things, and if you can picture a club, like you just have it, right? So I think that even though maybe it feels like repetitive to you if you've done it there in the past, but for me, I thought it was a great, as we saw, it let us do a lot of weird stuff that if we were in like, like a factory or something, it just wouldn't have been as like rich of opportunities. But yeah, I thought it was great. And hopefully my only regret is I thought maybe my strong arming Rich or Char into like doing the assassination was a little like maybe ham-fisted, but I thought it would be fun conflict. So
It was
Yeah,
fun
that's
conflict.
why I went for it.
Yeah, I'm an assassin. Send me to assassinate people. That's great. I think it was the right instinct.
I think it was good. I love that you sent your guys after Rich immediately as well. That was great. And I thought you did really well being the crime boss in a situation where it did all intensely rotate around the crime boss.
Right.
Not just a participant, but everybody needed a scene with you at different points. And you did really well. I think
I
one
also have
thing.
to say, by the way, back to Char, he only knocked people out and then failed to kill the target. It was such a perfect like
I
assassin.
have this whole subplot in my mind of why the Dathomirians and Char like didn't kill each other, and have they like gone at each other before? Is there some kind of professional courtesy going
Right.
on? It's very amusing that you didn't
Char
kill
was
that
kind of a
character.
fuck up.
I think Platinum was right. That's all I'm saying. He was right about Char.
uh, One thing I might do is give everyone one more stress at the start of the game.
I was gonna mention that. I
Yeah,
thought that would be good.
it's not bad. It's not bad.
That and maybe hard frame. This is a particular time when you can reduce stress. Like, oh, you all meet up at this drug den or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe I would normally in the process of Cartel do more of that. I was just so focused on like keeping the plate spinning, but you're right. I'll add that to my little list of GM notes is to be
Oh,
like a scene that has stress relief inside.
you also mentioned modifying the help and interfere to be the amount of stress that you wagered, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because again, -2 is good, but +1 is useless, I think, in most PBTA games. So like, there's two rolls that basically mean that a +1 means anything, right? And it makes it,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, guys. Rich, if you'd like to end the recording and say goodbye to the internet.
Goodbye, Internet.